When you heard that Mesa called and confessed about your mother's murder, how did that make you feel?
Um, it was good to have at least some type of closure, definitely. I'm still wondering as to the why or the what was your reasoning behind it. But as I do more research, sometimes it is just kind of luck of the draw. Oh, you're the person in contact, and that's just what happens. But due to the fact that he lived next door, I'm like, did you case her out? Did you see how she was, her movements, what she was very routine? And so I'm like, did you just target an elderly person? Because clearly he killed an elderly man and only knows who else. But I was at least happy to have the closure.
Good. Prior to this, a lot of information has recently come out. Even the fact that they had tied DNA from your mom to Mesa all the way back in 2020. 2020, they found out that the DNA from her
Why
rape
wasn't I hearing
kit.
about it in 2020? Why wasn't I aware or privy to the fact that there was even a rape kit done? I never saw my mom after said autopsy. I just gave the go ahead to hand her off to the funeral home. She ended up being cremated. So I never saw her after the day before actually getting the news that she passed. Again, 2020, why am I hearing about it in 2023? Had she been more affluent, had she been the right race, I'm gonna put a name on it, I'm gonna call it what it is, had funding for APD been there, had the right money, number point, race, demographic, whatever you want to call it, been right, would it have been handled then? Or is it because I'm a minority? I don't know. I'm a single mom. There's no telling. Do I financially have it? No, but she deserves justice just like anybody else, regardless. But again, I don't know. I know that I know what I saw. I know I walked into a crime scene 24 hours after they released the house to me. I know what evidence I saw there. APD wasn't privy to that because I definitely saw the condom that was there. I have it recorded. Is that information that they would have been or wanted to? No, they saw it just like I saw it, but they chose not to do anything about it. Why am I hearing about it in 2023? Why was it inconclusive in 2019 on her death certificate? Make it make sense.
Have you heard talk to APD and then also hearing that they're now particularly investigating your mom's case? Tell me how you feel about that as well.
Why the sudden inquiry now? Is it because it's now on fault of APD that they're so let's be on top of this. Let's cover the masses. No, I should have heard about whatever happened in 2020, not 2023. I've spoken with one detective who said, "We apologize. This is what the reason was." But one detective who is new to homicide wasn't even on in 2019, 2020. It's just not making sense to me. And so a sorry is a sorry, but at the end of the day, had I not provided pictures to you, there wouldn't have even been a face to her name.
Are you thinking about taking legal action?
Always a possibility. I know that she didn't have a voice, she didn't have the fun. She was, for all intents and purposes, a little Hispanic lady in East Austin, originated. That's the house I grew up in, that's the house she grew up in, which is now dilapidated due to gentrification. But again, that's things that no one's going to talk about. But she can't speak up for herself, so there's a reason why I'm still able to speak up for her. What can happen? Lord only knows. I just want people to be aware of this criminal who has done crime, got released early off of good behavior. And that was after an 8-year-old girl. My twins are 10. I have a boy and a girl. And I would go to the ends of the earth for my kids. So my heart goes out to that person, their family, but I can speak for my family. And so since my mom can't, I will be her voice. Keep him where he needs to be. The pain that he has caused, let the Lord have his will. And I'm going to leave it at that. My mom was, I call her an onion. She had a lot of layers, clearly. We find out more and more about her And I mean, my mom taught me a lot of things, and to be better, to strive for better, to be better than where you're from, to set the standard, to not be a follower, be a leader. She taught me to try to see the good in people, even when there's bad. Somewhere there's some kind of good. She taught me at least to try to be a better person, try to bring some type of good. And so if this is what my some type of good is, if my twins, who are much better than what I am, if I can bring some type of good, I'm okay with it. But again, I keep coming back to, had she been somebody different in a different situation, would it have taken so long? Would it have just been swept under the rug as it's okay? Or, we're sorry, we made an oops. No, it's bigger than an oops. Only time can tell.
You said your kids are 10, right?
My twins are 10.
Twins are 10, so they were able to meet their grandma.
They know who their grandma is. We didn't live at home, but my mom, she was there. They at least know who their grandma. And so even as I'm talking and I'm speaking with you, as I'm speaking with people, they're like, Mommy, what happened with our grandma? To have to explain to my 10-year-old, granted, yes, it is at a 10-year-old version, but somebody killed her. And to see my daughter tear up, even though they didn't have the closest of relationships, because my kids are 10, this is 2019, this is years ago, it's still, that's their grandma. And to see them see my hurt and see my daughter cry at the idea of my mommy's hurting, and to know the man who did the crime may or may not be able to actually be held. Oh wait, he already has a bond. A bond for what? It's not making sense to me. Why are you going to give someone who's repeatedly doing the same act multiple times over a bond? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me when he says, oh, I'm more than happy to go ahead and do it again. Like, I was actually contemplating it. I wanted to do it. That's beyond premeditation. That's somebody saying, hey, I know I have a problem, and there's people who have mental health issues, whatever the case may be, and see how I'm still able to be devil's advocate. Even if he is, address that and keep him where he needs to be. But to allow him, he may or may not, let's give him a chance. And then another elderly person, another child, it's just not making sense. So APD dropped the ball. The courts, the judicial system dropped the ball. A lot of people dropped the ball, but when is it going to stop? When is it going to end? Is there going to be justice? Or are we just going to be talking about it and it's just going to be the headline for today and we forget about it tomorrow?
When you learned of your mom's death originally, how did that hit you?
I had APD at my door. And this is when, in 2019, my kids are 10. You do the math. I remember walking to the door. My then boyfriend at the time said, there's a lot of cops here. And I remember I was like, it has nothing to do with this. Keep going. I was brought up, you don't talk to the cops. Unless you have reason, you don't talk to the cops. And that's, again, what I've been instilled with. My demographic. I'm Black and Hispanic. That's what I know. So I remember I walked and I saw, and I just remember telling him, take the kids inside. And I said, how can I help you? They're at my door. I'm going to address it head on. And that's when they proceeded to tell me that my mother was found in her home, deceased. And I said, okay, I don't know how to handle this. What do I do? They proceeded to give me some instructions, hand me a pamphlet, and tell me, we'll let you know from here. That's where it began and ended, and I remember breaking down, crying. No one deserves to hear from a cop that their parent passed, much less to find out that family members knew and they took it upon themselves to alert APD and say, oh, y'all can go ahead and handle it. Don't hand the baton. I feel like just a lot of people have to do better. But that pain to find out in that fashion, I wish upon nobody.
Okay, so we have a statement that I wanted to share. We're shocked and disappointed with the gravity of the murders that he has committed, as well as the fact that the DNA was found belonged to this killer in 2020. But yet he was not arrested at the time and killed again. Had the police department and DA's office done their job in 2019, he would have been behind bars and never could have killed again. Had the district attorney in 1982 not have made a terrible deal with the child rapist murderer, then he would have never seen the free world or have an ability to hurt anyone else. We can tell you from this investigation that APD did not do their best work. When we entered the house, once they gave it to us after the murder, we found evidence they missed at the scene, and they left the used condom from the killer at the home. I have the video of finding it, and I was not asked to provide it to the investigators. This is a travesty of the injustice of the Travis County DA, and they need to make him face the death penalty and let the people of Travis County decide the fate. I'm so sorry for the other families that had to do this, and I hope that justice can come through this. They bagged it. It was bagged, and it was yet not taken. And had they attested it, they would already have that evidence, and maybe Mr. Fraga would be here today. But it's sad that it's taking all this to come to light.